Welcome, you guys. This is my recommendation list for all of the teens out there for books that are kind of fall inspired. So if you're looking for fall book recommendations for teenagers in particular, this video is for you. I'll tell you briefly what these books are about, if there's any language, if there's any spice, and if there's any content warnings that I would give, and you can decide if these books are a good fit for you. Starting with the series that I recommend, first up is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I would also recommend the Inheritance Games, but I love this series more, so I'd recommend this one. This follows kids that have special abilities that the FBI notice, and they want to use them to help them take down serial killers. So there is serial killing in this book, but it's lighthearted because you're following teenagers and it doesn't go that deep. But there is blood in this book. Okay, there's bloody scenes, and you do get a little bit of the perspective of some of the serial killers. But in my opinion, it's lighthearted enough that I think teens would still enjoy this. And I just really love the characters. There's someone for everyone in this book. There's girls and boys working together, and you just really have a lot of found family, meaning that they're all friends and they become like family because they get so close. And the last book is quite intense, but this first book is so fun and lighthearted. I feel like as young as 13 could enjoy this book, and they're just easy books to read. And there is very mild language. I think it doesn't even go that heavy. It might say the D word once or twice, and maybe God once or twice as well. But there's no spice in this book. But yeah, keep in mind serial killing and blood. Next up is The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. This is Cinder, and man, this is a fun series. So it is sci-fi, but it's set on Earth and the moon, but they just have lots of technology that we don't currently have, and they are also fairy tale retellings. So this first book follows the Cinderella retelling. So you follow this girl who is adopted into this family. Her mom and her two sisters don't really like her because they're stepmom and stepsisters, and she is a cyborg. So half of her body is robotic because she was in an accident and they were doing kind of like experiments with cyborgness, cyborgery. I don't know. But in this society, cyborgs are seen as lesser humans, so they're shunned and they're like made fun of. So she has a tough time. Then you follow the prince as well of the certain area they're from. He ends up needing her help as a cyborg, so they like work together, and you see that develop. There's also a plague going around, so there's like a bit of a plague issue happening. And I would not caution that many things. Like, it is clean, no spice, and no language, if I remember correctly. I think there's no language. And then for content, like, yeah, there's some evil plots. There's a little bit of like manipulation and control, like mind control. But otherwise, they're just fun, and the different books follow different fairy tales, so that's fun too. So yeah, highly recommend. Then if you are a teen, or if your teen has not read the Giver series before, I've only read the first book, but I really enjoyed it. It was really easy to read, and I think someone as young as 13 could enjoy it. And there are more books that like explain some things. I was a little annoyed that the ending of the Giver was what it was, but apparently more things do get explained in other books, so I would recommend it. There's no language, it's totally clean, there's like barely even any romance in the book. It's more so about this dystopian world where all of your choices are taken from you. You're kind of just like, they're almost like robots, and people are just like manufactured to be what the society needs, and it's just very interesting. So I would recommend that one for a dystopian. Now for standalones, this one may or may not appeal to teens, but in one of the timelines it follows a teenager, so you can decide for yourself. It's The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. So in the past timeline, you're following this older lady. In the present timeline, you're following this older lady. In the past, you're following her as a teenager. She got pregnant as a teenager, so the past is watching that play out, and there is no like right or wrong being pushed in the sense of like getting pregnant as a teenager. It's really about what her experience is. And I didn't feel like Nicholas Sparks was trying to say like you should or should not do certain things. It was just kind of presented as what the characters were doing. So I appreciated that. And it was a really sweet romance in the past timeline that I feel like teens would like. In the present timeline, you do follow the older lady and then this young man, and she's telling his story to him. So that part might be boring to some teens, but if you're an older teen, you might connect to it a little bit more. And I just thought this was brilliant. There's no spice in this book. Obviously she's pregnant, but you don't see that happen, and there's no language as well. So highly recommend this one. Next, I'd recommend Not If I Save You First by Ali Carter. This is just a fun, kind of suspenseful book set in wintertime, so may not be true fall, it's more winter, but I still think that'd be a fun read. So you follow the president. He has a son, is that correct? Yes, the president has a son, and his head of security has a daughter. So they play a lot. The son and the daughter are friends. But then there's an attack on the White House, and I don't get in trouble. And people have to go into hiding, and you follow the girl and her dad in hiding. The president's son shows up, and then it looks like someone's trying to kill them. So, and they're in the snowy mountains of winter. So that's really vague and kind of random, but it was just a very fun book. There is very few mild pieces of language. I think maybe they say the B word once. Otherwise, no spice and only that one word, and I would recommend it. It was really fun. I think it's appropriate for teens, and the ending was good too, so recommend it. Okay, this book as well, I'm not sure if teens would like it, but you do follow girls growing up and like into teenagehood, so we'll see. It's called Covenant Child by Terry Blackstock. So this book follows a dad who has twin daughters, and their mom passes away. So he's like grappling with trying to raise his twins. Then he meets a woman who's like perfect for him and perfect for them. She like joins into their family perfectly. It's a really easy transition, and she wants to adopt the girls, and she's about to, but then the dad is in an accident and he dies. And so who's the next of kin for these girls? It's these random relatives that have never spoken to them. And so you follow the girls being taken away from the mom that they wanted and growing up in not a good environment. And yeah, you see them as children and they grow up into teenagers, and there is like drinking, drugs, neglect, a lot of like tough things that I think a lot of teens go through. So I do think that a lot of teens could relate to this book, but the faith content is so good. Like seeing how God is there with them, it was really well done. So I do highly recommend this. I just don't know if teens would like it, just because it's sad, but it has a great ending. It has a really happy ending, so maybe it'll work for one of you. Then I also recommend Room to Breathe by Casey West. I love this book, and I don't know that it's fall coded, although they're in school, so it's during the school year. And for this one, a girl and her ex-boyfriend get stuck in a bathroom in the school overnight, and that forces them to figure out what happened between them and why they broke up. And so you do get flashbacks to their relationship and what was going on, and then you see them in the bathroom as well. And there's no language, there's no spice, it's very appropriate, and I thought that it was just so well written, and what the characters were dealing with were like really realistic and relatable, and I just really loved this book. I gave it 5 stars, so I do highly recommend it for teens. And then lastly, if your teen likes reading medieval fairy tale retellings or just anything medieval, Melanie Dickerson has a lot of books. I've only read like 2 of them, but the one that I have read is The Warrior Maiden, and this is like a Mulan retelling. And yeah, it's medieval style and nothing much else to say. Mulan retelling kind of tells you what it's about. They have no language, they are spice free, and they're just like easy books. The stakes are fairly low for what's going on. So they're good recommendations if you want something like pretty clean and just tame for your teen, or if you are a teen and you like that. I think as an adult, I didn't enjoy it that much, but I think that it's written specifically for teens, and that's why I didn't like it, but I think teens might. So those are some fall book recommendations for teens that I have. I'll write them all down below, and I do have a playlist where I have done all of my young adult and like teenager recommendations. They're all in a playlist where you can watch them, so I'll link that below too if you want to find more recommendations, but these are my fall ones for you teens. I hope you're having a good start to school. Here in Canada, school doesn't start until the day after Labor Day, but in America, I know you guys start in August already, so some of you might already be in school, and so I hope you have a great school year, and I hope these books are helpful, that you find some good books that you can read that don't compromise your values. And I am interested in reading more young adult, but just trying to find ones that I'll also enjoy too. So as I find them, I'll let you guys know, but that's what I have for now. So thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.